Guadalajara is one of Mexico's most underrated cities, and if you only have one day here, you can still experience a lot: history, culture, food, nature, and local life. This is the heart of Jalisco, the birthplace of mariachi and tequila, but it's also a modern, vibrant city. Today, I'm taking you through a full one-day itinerary in Guadalajara, moving from historic landmarks to lively neighborhoods. The goal is simple: help you make the most of your time without rushing, while still seeing the essentials. Let's start the day right in the historic center. Hospicio Cabañas is the perfect place to begin your day. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is one of the most important historical buildings in Mexico, both architecturally and culturally. Originally built as a hospital and orphanage, the complex is massive. The complex features wide courtyards and long corridors, creating a very calm atmosphere that contrasts with the busy city outside. But the real treasure lies inside the chapel. Inside the chapel, you'll find José Clemente Orozco's famous murals. His work is powerful, dramatic, and deeply tied to Mexican identity. The most iconic piece, the Man of Fire, sits at the center of the dome. Even if you're not usually into museums, this place is worth it. You can take your time walking through the courtyards, admiring the symmetry and light, and easing into the rhythm of the city. It sets the tone for the rest of the day. Just a short walk from Hospicio Cabañas, Guadalajara Cathedral dominates the historic center. With its yellow stone facade and twin neo-Gothic towers, it's one of the city's most recognizable landmarks. Construction started in the 16th century. Inside, the atmosphere is quiet and solemn. Locals come here not just as visitors, but as part of daily life, to pray, reflect, or simply escape the heat. The interior is elegant, with beautiful stained glass and religious art. Outside, the cathedral sits at the center of everything. Street performers, vendors, and families all cross paths here. Take a moment to step back and observe the energy of the city. This is the real rhythm of Guadalajara. Next, we head to Tlaquepaque. Known for its colorful streets and strong artistic identity, this area is famous for traditional crafts, ceramics, and music. Walking down Calle Independencia feels almost cinematic. This is one of the best places to slow down. Step into artisan shops, watch craftspeople at work, and explore small galleries showcasing both traditional and contemporary Mexican art. It's the perfect place for unique souvenirs. Tlaquepaque is also a great food stop. Many restaurants here focus on regional dishes, often served in beautiful courtyards with live music. The vibe is relaxed but festive, especially in the afternoon. Tlaquepaque shows a softer, more artistic side of Guadalajara that balances perfectly with the historic center. That's it for the first part of our day. Stay tuned as we continue exploring this amazing city in the next part. Back to the center, the Rotonda de los Jaliscienses Ilustres is a short but meaningful stop just steps from the cathedral. This circular monument honors some of the most important figures born in the state of Jalisco: writers, scientists, artists, and political leaders who shaped Mexican history. You don't need more than 10 to 15 minutes here, but it adds context to the city. The statues give you a sense of Guadalajara's cultural heritage. Think of it as a pause between major landmarks, a quick reset before continuing your walk through the historic center. Plaza de la Liberación, renovated in 2026, is one of the main open spaces in downtown Guadalajara and acts as a natural connector between several landmarks. From here, you can see the cathedral, Teatro Degollado, and government buildings all in one wide panoramic view. This plaza gives you breathing space after walking through tighter streets. It's perfect for people watching or grabbing a snack. Street musicians often play here, and the energy is very local. Families gather, couples stroll, and office workers cross the square. In the afternoon, head toward the Templo Expiatorio, one of the most impressive churches in Guadalajara. Built in a neo-Gothic style, it feels very different from the cathedral. The intricate facade makes it one of the most photogenic spots. Inside, the atmosphere is calm and intimate. It's not overwhelming, so you can explore it in about 20 minutes without rushing. If you arrive around the hour, you might see the mechanical clock figures appear outside, a small but memorable detail. If you want a touch of nature, Bosque Colomos is a perfect late afternoon stop, about 15 minutes from downtown. The Japanese garden inside the park is especially peaceful, with small bridges and ponds that feel surprisingly quiet for a major city. Even an hour is enough to reset and see how locals spend their free time. It's a simple but authentic way to experience everyday Guadalajara. End your day at Mercado San Juan de Dios, one of the largest indoor markets in Latin America. This is where Guadalajara feels raw and alive. Inside, you'll find everything from street food to leather goods. It's loud, busy, and chaotic, but that's part of the experience. This is the perfect place to eat. Try local specialties like tortas ahogadas or birria, dishes deeply connected to Jalisco. Ending your day here creates a full-circle experience, balancing refined culture with real, local flavor. That makes your one-day itinerary complete. See you soon for another Mexico exploration adventure.